Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm Gene Delasala, president of Audioholics, and I'd like to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas.
Check that out. And I'm Hugo Rivera, Vice President of Marketing from Audioholics. Merry Christmas to everybody. How are you doing today, Gene?
Hugo, I'm doing great, man. We're getting ready to end the year, and it was a good year for us.
Yes, the force is strong this year.
It is strong, and it has awoken.
It is. There is an awakening. Awesome, man. Honestly, I think it's been a great year in many fronts. I mean, we've had some pretty solid products. I see the industry moving away a little bit from the fads and coming with some very solid solutions for the customers out there, and I really like that. I like the direction that we seem to be moving towards.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of good solutions now for wireless audio. You know, we'll talk a little bit about DTS Play-Fi. We're really impressed with what we're seeing with that. And, you know, we're still wondering where all the Dolby Atmos speakers are.
Where's Atmos?
In fact, I'd like to show you a little preview of what's coming next year. You see this right here? See that?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear.
This is the Dolby Atmos crossover and transfer function. Now, let me show you how to polish a turd. This is how you polish a turd, and we'll be talking more about this next year. Don't think we're done with Atmos. We have way more to go.
The return of the Atmos reflection speakers.
Revenge of the Atmos-enabled speaker. It's a gift that keeps on giving the whole year. But I digress. I think we should talk about some awesome products that we looked at this year.
Yeah, let's talk about some awesomeness. How about product number one? What do you have over there, Gene?
Well, you know, we did a Product of the Year award article on Audioholics. You can link it up so people can read about it. And basically, we chose products that we reviewed or have direct experience with, and we decided that these are some pretty kick-ass products for the money and for what they do. So the first product I'd like to talk about is the Outlaw Model 5000 amplifier.
Yeah, that's a jacked up amplifier.
It really is nice. It's a nice piece. It's a 5-channel amp. It's 600 watts. You know, it's a linear amp. It's got a nice big power supply in it, and it's honestly rated at 120 watts a channel times 5. And we bench tested it, and it did a little bit better than that. And, you know, it sounds good. It sounds nice and meaty. And, you know, if you're looking to give a shot of adrenaline to your receiver, this is a good choice to go with. Really is.
Awesome, man. It's not going to go ahead and break your wallet.
No, definitely not. And it's, you know, it's manageable. It doesn't weigh like 200 pounds, and it's not a lightweight. At the same token, you can't carry it with one arm. Well,
right.
You might be able to carry it with one arm. Most people won't be able to carry it with one arm.
Yeah, big congratulations for Outlaw. I mean, they definitely came out with a great product over here, so I think people are going to really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to go ahead and say about that before we move on?
No, I just say check out our review, and you'll see how we bench tested it and why we like that amp. It's a really good deal for $600.
Awesome. Well, I see over here that for the second thing we have the Wireless Earphones Award. And what does that go to?
We've got the RBH EPSB, and it's SB. I don't really get the nomenclature too much, but
EPSB.
It is what it is. It's a great little headphone. We've covered it before, and I got a pair here, and I love the little gas tank. It's got the little gasoline tank. You can see right here.
You and I both.
And you know, you could charge these headphones while you're on the airplane. You could charge it 2.5 times per charge. And the funny thing is, we use these headphones at CEDIA to shoot videos. I use the microphone, and I'm walking around the entire show floor, you know, a good 5-6 hours a day for 2 days. Didn't even charge the batteries once. I had them in my ear the whole time.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I have to say that RBH has come this year really leaps forward when it comes to like earphone products, earbuds, all that kind of stuff. It's like they're really doing well, Gene, as you know.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not trying to cover their products so much, but they're releasing so many damn products at once, and they're so communicative about getting us new products. In fact, these are going to be quite a product to review in 2016. These are the HP2s, I believe, from RBH. They're over-the-ear headphones, super comfortable, super lightweight. They go right on, boom. They have a beryllium-coated driver on them. They sound amazing, and they're only $200 a pair. and they've got a lot of bass, really tight bass. But if you want to like hamper the bass a little bit, they have these little tiny ports here, and we're going to talk about it in the review. Put a piece of tape on them, or you could stick some epoxy if you want to permanently seal them. You could tune the bass to your liking.
Here's a big question, Gene. Do you like them more than your $1,000 ones?
Well, they're different. You know, I said that initially because I had a quick listen. I would say 95% of people that would AB these headphones with the ones I was talking about are going to prefer these because they have more bass. They're way more efficient. I had to turn the volume way down on these to compare level match them with my other headphones. And I would say that these, for $200 a pair, nothing can touch them. I swear to you, listen to me now and believe me later, nothing on the market can touch these headphones for $200 a pair, and that's shipped. Okay? Now, these things do some amazing things that I haven't heard on $1,000 headphones. I can't say enough good things about them. I would just tell people go out and buy them. If you don't like them, send them back. You know, RBH has a very good return policy. I rarely tell people to go and buy something without even finishing the review, but I'm telling you guys, they're $200 now, and you know that they're going to raise the price next year. So if you're looking for a pair of on-ear headphones, these are a sure bet. And look how they fold down. You know, they're easy to store. They come with a really nice carrying case. They have a really cool cable. I've got the extended cable. This is like I think a 10-foot cable. They have a shorter cable, but it's anti-tangle, doesn't tangle up.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool product. So I'm looking forward to actually reviewing these probably end of January, early February latest.
I'll tell you what, that's a huge compliment, Gene, because I know how you are with headphones. You're really, really picky. And for you to be making these statements, I just got to say that's pretty huge. So
yeah, I'm not a huge headphone person, but this is kind of changing my mind. You know, I really enjoy listening to these.
that's pretty awesome. Well, that's, man, great job. Shane is kicking butt up there, you know?
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They
Yeah.
definitely know what they're doing.
Awesome stuff. Moving on, because otherwise we're going to stay here for 3 hours. How about the award for the wireless speaker? Which wireless speaker got that award?
Well, we really like when we were at CEDIA, we really like what Martin Logan and Paradigm were doing with wireless with DTS Play-Fi. Very impressive technology that they've implemented. They're one of the first to implement it into their speaker system. Now, for those of you that don't know what DTS Play-Fi is, it's an open source platform. So you can link up any DTS Play-Fi speaker on your wireless network and they'll work together. You can sync them up, they'll play. There's no compression at all like Bluetooth has. You know, Bluetooth could be really good and it's come a long way, especially with the aptX, but Play-Fi is just to the next step. You know, it's brought to you by the guys at DTS. They know what they're doing. And Paradigm and Martin Logan are the first to jump ship on this and get into it. And I think we're going to see a lot of Play-Fi speakers in 2016.
Very interesting stuff. You know, one thing that makes it interesting, Gene, is that, you know, it's open source, from my understanding.
Yeah.
And it's also, you know, totally independent of the kind of like speaker that you're using. So it doesn't need a specific speaker platform, you know?
No, it's open source. It's awesome. And, you know, this Paradigm speaker sounds really good. It's got the Anthem Arc room correction built into it, so you can get the bass better on it. It's got a really powerful amp, dual 5-inch woofers and tweeters. I mean, it's just Paradigm technology in a self-contained box that's wireless. You can put it anywhere around the house, link it up to your network, stream to it, do whatever you want with it. And it's like, I don't know, it's like $600, so it's well worth the price from what we're listening to.
Man, that's awesome. It's amazing how far away, you know, wireless technology has come, you know, because if you remember, back in the day, the first wireless speakers, they were not the greatest speakers in the planet.
No, even up to a year or two ago, I was having problems keeping them on network, you know, the Bluetooth problems, not pairing correctly. All that crap's gone now. So it's really a refreshing thing to see. Play-Fi is going to be a huge force. The force has awoken.
Yes, it has.
With Play-Fi.
The force is strong in this one.
It is. So I'm telling you guys, that's going to be big in 2016.
That's awesome. Awesome. You heard it here first, guys. How about bookshelf speakers? Who gets that kind of award?
Well, surprisingly, Legacy did. You know, the Legacy Studio HD, it's their smallest speaker. You know, I asked them to send a pair to Marshall, not realizing that he was going to fall so in love with them that he actually bought 3 of them after the review.
Nice.
And he's got some hard-hitting speakers at his place. So, I mean, this doesn't come lightly. And if you look at his review and you look at his measurements and you look at, his description of the product, you'd fall in love with him too. We just did not expect so much performance out of a little compact speaker. And it's got great woodwork. It's not cheap vinyl. It's not one piece of MDF folded into a cabinet like some of the Internet Direct speaker companies do. This stuff is furniture, and it's furniture that sounds good.
Legacy has always done a great job with the presentation of their products. I mean, it's just super classy, super nice. You really don't mind having that in your living room because it's like you said, it's a nice piece of furniture,
Yeah, they're great speakers. We have some reviews of some of their bigger stuff too. I'm still waiting to get a pair in my place and put them through their paces, and hopefully next year I will find a model that I can actually lift up the flight of steps because they're heavy.
Yeah, we'll need to go ahead and put our full force, or we'll get Yoda to do some levitation.
Or yogurt with the Schwartz.
That's funny. All right, so moving on. Budget towers. Which one gets the award?
Well, SBS has been another company that's been kicking butt this year, and their Prime series is awesome. I mean, it's like half the price of the Ultra series, and it's very similar performance. A lot of trickle-down technology that went into their products. They don't have the side-fire woofers, so they're easier to place. It's a more narrow baffle. I mean, it's just great. Their towers, I think they're about $1,000 a pair shipped. But they have a 45-day trial period, so if you don't like them, you send them back, and they pay shipping both ways.
That's awesome. That's just awesome.
And they give you a real center channel. They give you a three-way center channel with a mid-range below the tweeter and two woofers on the sides. So it's not like you're getting this throwback center channel where you get with a lot of budget systems.
And again, this pair is not breaking down your piggy bank. It's at $9.99, I believe.
Yeah, for the pair, and they're not giving you cheap vinyl.
It's amazing.
It's in a nice cabinet. They have the semi-gloss. I think the premium on the semi-gloss is like $100. Mm-hmm. They don't nickel and dime you. You get nice binding posts on the back, and it's just their stuff's always built well.
Yes.
They use real cast basket drivers, good components in the crossovers. They don't cheapen the crossover by not putting a filter on the mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that in some Internet Direct companies, man.
I'll tell you what, SBS really impresses me as a company because we've seen them from the beginning, and now where they're so far. It's incredible what they have been able to accomplish in these past few years,
And they stand behind their product. When you're paying shipping both ways, you stand behind a good product.
Absolutely. And when you give 45 days, I mean, 45 days, and you're really comfortable about what you're selling, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty awesome. Now, for the next category, I have to say, Gene, when I first saw these, I fell in love with these, okay? And I was like, oh my God, this is like amazing. And the category I'm referring to is the cost is not an object speakers, okay?
Yeah, this is that insane level of performance and price. It would be analogous to when you look at cars and you get the new Lamborghini.
Yes, you took it right out of my head. I mean, honestly, at the time I didn't know what the cost was, so I remember telling you, hey, Gene, I love these speakers, man. I mean, I need me a pair like now,
Yeah.
That's up until I heard the cost, but hey,
it's like a mortgage on a small house, basically. They're $80,000 a pair. It's the Martin Logan Neoliths, and the only way you could hear them really is to go to demo them if they have special events where you go. And Teo, one of our reviewers, actually went to the New York private event, and he did the demo for us. He actually conducted a formal review there, and he loved them. Everybody that's been on our staff that has heard them has really enjoyed them, and they're beautiful, and they're a statement piece, and they're beyond reproach in terms of affordability for most people. But, it's never been cheap to be hip and trendy.
Nope. And if you want to be modern, I mean, definitely these things have a modern look and a half. I mean, they could easily go into Flint's room in Tron 2. It would easily fit there. It'll be just fine. It's like, wow. And they come in different colors, too.
At that price, I'm sure they'll bring them to your house, and they'll bring some pizzas with you, and whatever you want. So yeah, that's gonna be a custom service kind of thing.
Absolutely. I could see some some hardcore fans out there maybe putting a second mortgage on the home to put these in.
Or they might not even have a home. They'll put them in their Lamborghinis, right? They'll get them to match their Lamborghinis. They could probably match the paint on the Lamborghinis.
I guarantee you. Wow. Yeah, really awesome piece. Really, really nice. Now, moving on, how about the Atmos DTS X AV Receiver Award? Who gets that
Well,
one?
Danny did a really good job considering they put all this technology into one box. Teo again reviewed the AVR X 7200WA. Don't ask me where they come up with these model numbers.
They're worse than the starships from, like, the Federation.
It's I have to actually look at it to remember all the little letters and stuff. But it's a kick-ass receiver. It's a 9-channel. It's you can do up to 11 channels at once. And Teo actually set up a full-fledged 11.1 system. He optimized it for Oro, for Dolby Digital. I'm sorry, Dolby Atmos.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, the DTS-X algorithm isn't available. But he's going to go back and he's going to go test it because he liked this receiver so much he bought it. He bought the review sample, and this is a guy that's really into Anthem. So he's got a full Anthem system in his other room, but in his basement area, he set up a secondary home theater, and he's just blown away by how good Atmos sounds with discrete speakers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing Rumper Room.
Nope. No Rumper Room.
Bouncy House.
No Bouncy House. Nope.
So the only thing he basically wasn't thrilled about was the results with Odyssey, but you and I both already know there's limitations with Odyssey.
Right.
You can't bandwidth limit. You have to do a full frequency correction, and it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot whether that stuff works.
Yeah.
So I would recommend people not use Odyssey in most cases, especially if you have good speakers. Okay. And we'll talk about something that I have as an alternative. Remind me when we're done talking about these products, because I got something hot to talk about.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, well, the next category I'm super interested about because we've had a lot of good subwoofers come out this year, and this award is for the super subwoofer. So who gets this one?
XTZ Audio, their 3X12. It's got three 12-inch drivers with separate amps in each enclosure. It's a huge subwoofer. It easily met our extreme rating. It's strong enough to make Grandpa Simpson's teeth explode during a THX trailer. This thing is armed to the gills, man. This is a Sovereign class battleship. $2,500 shipped.
Awesome stuff. Holy cow. I gotta tell you, man, with the amount of subwoofers that came out this year, this is impressive.
It really is, and it looks good. It's huge. I mean, it's ridiculously huge. If you can handle having a big box like this, you put it in the corner of the room, and at this price, you could probably afford two of them if you're really into bass.
Yeah.
And it's still less expensive than some of these super subs with a single 15-inch driver. And then you get the benefits of multi-sub, and you got real extension down to 15 hertz.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Really good stuff.
And, check out their other speakers. It's not just their subs. They really do a good job. A lot of people don't really know much about them. We've been trying to help them out. Their website's not very user-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate. But, their products are based on real engineering.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think they skimp on the quality of the products at all,
No, it's impressive.
It really is. So big kudos to this company. They're from Sweden. I believe, and they're making their splash over here in the U.S. and, very impressive products, the ones that we have seen. So I hope that they continue their good work because, if you pound the rock enough, eventually it's going to go ahead and give. So
there you go.
They just need to keep on going. Awesome stuff. So how about the compact subs? Because we did have another stream of compact subs that came into the market as well.
Well, one of my favorite subs in terms of a sealed compact sub is the JL Audio E112. We did a video on that sub. I love that sub to death. Okay, but the SVS SB13 Ultra is pretty much every bit as good as that sub. Maybe we're talking within a couple of dB, 1 or 2 dB here or there, give or take. At certain frequencies, the SVS has more output. At other frequencies, the JL has more output. But the fact that the SVS version is cheaper. It's $15.99 shipped, and it's a benchmark product. I think Ed Mullen told me they went through like 7 or 8 iterations of that driver.
Oh my God.
Until they got it to where they wanted it. This has a real incredible driver in it, and it's flat past 100 hertz. It's not one of these high mass drivers that has a lot of inductance that rolls off at 60 hertz, like a
Hmm.
car audio subwoofer. This thing is extremely musical. It's got very low group delay if you look at our measurements, which means you could blend it well with a small speaker. You could cross it over higher, and you could get very musical bass, but also very tactical bass because it's got, I think it exceeds our large room rating. It's almost at the extreme rating. I mean, it's pretty close.
Wow.
So it gives you, yeah, it gives you, I mean, it's just, I can't say enough things about this sub. You guys got to check out the review. Josh Rickey did a huge expose on it with all the measurements. And yes, it did. It got, I'm just checking right now. I got our large room rating, Bassaholic rating. And the greatest thing about it is it's manageable in terms of size.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of weight, not so manageable because they have a real driver in this. This isn't like some whizzer cone driver. You know,
Yeah,
this thing has
exactly.
got some real engineering. I think the sub weighs about 92 pounds in a compact box like this. It's a 17-inch cube, 92 pounds, 1,000-watt amplifier, real continuous power amplifier, not this PMPO bullshit. So this is a really incredible subwoofer.
I am blown away. The density of that sub is amazing.
It is.
I mean, holy cow. Wow, it's almost 100 pounds, that thing. That's
Next time,
awesome.
next time we do the subwoofer workout, I got to get one of these and have you move them into my living room.
Yeah, that's that's a nice way to convince me to go ahead and move some stuff. All right, here goes. Let's do a subwoofer workout. Let's see how it
Yeah,
goes.
like those kind of workouts.
It's funny. Now, next award is the multi-channel preamp processor. How about that one? What do you
Again,
got?
there's a lot of good ones out this year. Unfortunately, we haven't reviewed them all. I really like the Marantz 8802A, which has DTS, X, and Atmos,
Hmm.
but we didn't do a formal review, so I'm not going to put that here. But I will tell you that's one of the best ones on the market right now. But aside from that, what I really like about the Emotiva, the reason why we chose this as the Product of the Year award, is number one, it's the front channels are fully differential from input to output. It's got a very high quality preamplifier. The analog section on this is awesome. It's got really nice DACs. I think they're the top of the line analog device DACs.
Hmm.
It's the same kind of DACs that my Denon AVP uses, which are, a lot of people aren't really using these DACs anymore. They're switching to the ESS Sabres, which are good too, but I really like these DACs. They did a great implementation. The measurements came out great. But what's cool about this is it's got DRAC room correction.
Mm.
And DRAC is a lot more flexible than what you're getting with Odyssey because you could limit the bandwidth of correction. You could go in there and edit it. You could link it up with REW measurement software, which is free, and you could adjust the filters right there on the fly and make your
Oh,
changes.
that's awesome.
The only thing it doesn't have is it doesn't do the immersive surround formats.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
most people are still not even implementing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fair enough.
And then you could buy for an extra $100. You could get the full version of DRAC with the external mic that's fully calibrated. It's not these little hockey puck plastic mics that you get with receivers.
Right.
This is a real mic that's accurate down to the base, below 20
Hmm.
hertz, and it does real room correction down to below 20 hertz.
That's awesome.
So if you're really one of these guys that wants to tweak things to the nth degree, then you're going to want DRAC. And the thing is, most products that have DRAC in processors are like 10 grand. So this is a $2,500 processor with DRAC, which is unheard of. Nobody else has it at that price.
That's amazing. It's like a 75% discount from all the other products, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And it's got a nice front display on it. You can actually read it from a distance. I mean, it's just there's a lot of things to like about it. It's got a USB DAC on it, so I mean, it's definitely a product worth considering if you're not planning on doing Atmos right now, and you're doing 7.1 or 7.2. This is a product you want to take a look at.
that's great. That's amazing. Okay, well, moving on. What do we have for the architectural speakers? I'm interested in hearing about this one.
This is kind of a newcomer. I mean, I think we touched upon them last year, but we didn't really pay much attention until CEDIA this year. It's a company called Beale,
Hmm.
Beale Street Audio. And in fact, they sent Teo a bunch of speakers to put in the ceiling, and subwoofers too. And the cool thing is this thing is like modular. It's got a transmission line enclosure, and it actually has these ports that come out of it, and it makes the thing look like it's a much bigger enclosure than it really is. We heard the 8-inch subwoofer over at Cedia, and this thing was booming, man. It sounded like a real sub. You would not expect that. And their in-wall speaker sounded great too. In fact, we have a little video on it. I think you could probably link it up, or whatever.
Yep.
It's on our Facebook too. But we have a formal review coming out next year on these in-wall speakers, and it's different. There's a lot of companies doing in-walls. I think this has some innovation, especially with the enclosure technology.
That's awesome. You see, like I told you, I think we see a very clear trend in the industry of innovation. I see price going down. That's always good,
Yeah.
So
Well, like our friend Paul Scarpelli said, this is the best time in our lives to buy audio equipment because the stuff's getting so good, and it's coming down, and it's coming down to affordable prices. You don't need to spend an arm and a leg to get good performance. You just got to avoid the snake oils and the gimmicks.
exactly.
Don't pray to your cables, and don't bounce sound like it's romper room.
I'm trying to be good, Gene. I'm trying to be good because Santa is about to come. So
I know. I'm definitely on Santa's naughty list. I might get a lump of coal.
I may be already on that list too, so it may be too late for me.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's all right. But before we continue, I really want to make sure that you discuss this nice alternative to bass traps, okay?
Yes, if you don't want to be one of those geeks that throws bass traps all around your room and makes puppets of themselves, then I would recommend you look at this little black box. This isn't the black box that you find on an airplane when it crashes. So let's just get that out in the open. This is a company called Mini DSP, and I'm really enamored with what is in this box. It has 2 input. This is fully balanced, by the way. I don't mess around. I do everything differential. That's back from our telecom days.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a fully differential. It's the 2X4 is the model number.
2X4.
Anyways, it's got 2 inputs, okay? So if you have 2 inputs on your AV processor receiver for subwoofers, subwoofer 1 and 2 or subwoofer left and right, it's got 4 outputs. And I'm going to be reviewing this. What I'm doing in my system is I've got left and right subwoofer outputs on my AVP processor. So they're actually in stereo for the front channels, but then the LFE is mono. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking the left and rights, coming in here. I'm matrixing left and right plus LFE to my front speakers, and then mono mix of all the bass to my other 2 subs. Mm-hmm. Now, I could do that with this, which is really cool. It's got a whole matrix in here to do the logic of that, but it also has independent PEQ function for every input and every output. It's got digital delay settings. It's got bass management. You could adjust the crossover point, the shape of the crossover. It's got Bessel, Butterworth, you name it. The slope of the crossover, high pass, low pass, everything you would want to do in bass this is bass management's wet dream. Okay? And if you have the tools and you get REW, again, that's free software, you could measure your room response with REW, and it can import correction filters from what it measures into this automatically if you don't want to do it manually.
Holy cow. That stuff is powerful, Gene.
So if you've got REW, a good microphone, and you got patience, you could tune the hell out of your room, get 2 to 4 subs in it, and have no reason to go and put bass traps all around your room. Because this is going to get you subwoofers are minimum phase devices. You take care of the frequency response at all your seats, get the seat-to-seat consistency right, take care of the nulls and the bumps, and you're going to have incredible bass with very little low passive treatment for the low frequencies.
Wow.
And that's what this is going to do. We're going to write an article about it. I'm going to measure it. I'm going to show you what everything does. And guess how much this thing costs?
You read my mind because that was going to be my next question.
Guess how much it costs? With all this DSP horsepower.
$250.
It's like $129.
You kidding me?
I think it might cost an extra $20 if you want the power supply with it. I know it's under $150. Okay, and this is the balanced version. I recommend the balanced version because you get double the voltage. You get 4 volts out clean. I measured 4 volts RMS without clipping, which is more than enough to drive your subwoofers. And this is it, man. I don't understand why receiver companies have not licensed this. They're all wasting their time either not correcting for bass on their subwoofer outputs or using an auto correction system that doesn't work. I've been wanting to see this built into a processor or a receiver for years, and now I had to go and get a black box. I have a $7,000 processor, and it has a GEQ, graphic equalizer, instead of a PEQ, which is what this has. So I'm bypassing Odyssey, I'm bypassing the GEQ, I'm going with the mini DSP. Check them out. This is awesome. I have high hopes. This is Obi-Wan's help.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my homie.
This is our only hope to getting all four subwoofers to play nice together. And it's $129.
That blows me away. Where can people go? I'm going to go ahead and put the link over here.
Yeah, it's like minidsp.com or something like that.
Okay.
And I found them on a whim. I was just searching for solutions. I was searching for external PEQs, and I couldn't find anything I really wanted that was rack mountable. Unfortunately, this is not rack mountable, but it's so small, I could just put it on my rack behind my processor. Nobody will even know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
The software goes on your PC. You plug it in. You make all your adjustments on the fly. Save it to the box. Do all your measurements, and you're good to go.
That blows me away. Gosh, it's been a good year. That's all I gotta say. It's been a good year.
You know, and I'm looking for more stuff like this because this really can change the experience of your home theater. In my opinion, this is when you talk about the greatest breakthrough in 20 years. It's not bouncing sound off of a ceiling or a fish tank. Mm-hmm. It's getting your bass right, mm-hmm. And this is one of the best ways to do it. And it's cheap, and it just takes a little know-how and a little patience.
Exactly. Which I think anybody that really and truly wants to have a good audio experience, they'll gather the patience to go ahead and make it happen.
Yeah, you know? And I'm going to show how to do it. So, we're going to do a video on it. I'll do a tutorial, and you'll see the article, and hopefully it turns some people on to get the bass right in their rooms.
That's awesome. And you know what, Gene? I would like to invite our people to go ahead and share with us any kind of other products that they think that are great that came out in 2015 and maybe we don't know about them. So if they've seen something that they think is super cool, go ahead and comment below and let us know about it. Because, I mean, hey, we may be missing something, Gene, for all we know.
Well, I'll tell you another product that gets an honorable mention I've been really enjoying is the Yamaha AS801 integrated amplifier.
Nice.
Which has a USB DAC in it. And I've been loving that. I hooked that up to my desktop system. I got RBH speakers and a Velodyne Mini V sub. And, man, this is like heaven.
That's awesome.
It's got a real meaty 100 watt per channel amp that actually measures over 100 watts. Almost doubles down into 4 ohms. Got a good DAC. I mean, it's just a beautiful piece, and it's like, I think it's under $1,000. So check out the AS801. We have a review on it. We have a video on it, and I've been using it for a couple of months, and I went out and I bought it myself. I enjoyed it so much. I said, you know what? I need a benchmark amplifier that could go in my office system and just give me reference quality audio because I work in front of my computer 8 to 10 hours a day. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to always listen to my stereo.
Yeah.
So this is, sitting close to these speakers with this amp and a sub, it's like almost like being in my home theater, for 2-channel.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I'll tell you what, Gene, all the reviews that we mentioned, what I'm going to do just to make it super easy is that I'm going to put them on the description for the video so people can take a look at the description even if they're like on mobile and then just go ahead and click on the reviews because what happens is that when I put the annotations, it doesn't show up on mobile, so I will hate for the mobile people to miss out. So I'm just going to put all these reviews that we talked about down here in the description for people to just go down and, take a look at any of them.
Awesome. And, just so you guys know, we have some exciting stuff coming in 2016 product-wise. We've got a company called Light Harmonic.
Mm-hmm.
They do an OEM audio system for Tesla, the car.
Yeah.
They've got some really kick-ass sound bars and a subwoofer. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at the ELAC speakers and the wireless subwoofer, the one that does the room correction through wireless through your phone. We're going to be looking at that. We got a whole slew of products coming in. We got Revel has got their Concerto 2.
Yes.
Which are like internet direct speaker prices from a brick and mortar company with based on research and real product.
And you know what? Another thing that our fans don't know is that this coming year we're going to start with a new tradition. We're going to do some product smashing. Yeah. That's right. You send us a product, we don't like it, it's going to get smashed on YouTube.
Yeah, we've got a couple of products lined up, guys. So if you have anything and you want to mail it to us, we'll take it and smash it. We have a big hammer we're going to be hitting it with, and we might even have a guest appear.
We might have a guest up here that is 300 pounds of pure muscle, and he will be doing the smashing. Should be interesting.
I'm looking forward. I'm going to get some goggles for that. I think we should also thank our subscribers here, because
absolutely,
I have to step out for a minute and just and thank you as well, Hugo, because when we started YouTube years ago, I think we started in 2010-ish, around 2010.
Yeah, you started 2010. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of subscribers, and up until you and I got involved in doing the videos, we went from 5,000 subscribers to over 24,000 subscribers today. Mm-hmm. I think we're averaging about 1,200 subscribers a month.
1,200 subscribers every 28 days. Okay.
That's new subscribers.
Yeah, and like 250,000 people looking at our videos every 28 days as well. Basically millions of minutes of views, which is mind-boggling every single month.
I have to thank you guys because, obviously you like the message that we're putting out, and we're doing our best to keep it real. This is not corporatized. No. We're not sterile, and we just say what's on our minds. There's no script. When you see a script, all I have is this. I have a turd that I'm going to be polishing next year. That's it. That's all I got in front of me. We'll talk about that.
And it's funny, Gene, because basically I think some people have accused us of scripting, and, we take that as a compliment, but there's no script. I mean, basically, just to give people a little rundown, right now is 12:25 in the morning, okay? I guess it's the 23rd of December, all right? And basically, we just worked out, we just ate, and we're right here talking about this, and, we're just talking like we would talk without a camera. So, I mean, there's no script whatsoever.
Well,
so
that's how we do it. That's how we roll, guys, and we thank you for supporting the channel, and we are going to have a great 2016. I can feel it, and I'm excited.
Yep, so am I. Huge thanks over here. I mean, without your support, we wouldn't have any reason to do what we do. So thank you so much. And you know what, Gene? Today, I don't want to say keep listening this time. Today,
no, what do you want to say?
Today, I want to say, may the force be with you.
Yes, and Merry Christmas.